pretty much any revenue stream, value can now be added because one, digital items that no one could own prior to NFTs couldn't be owned, and now they can. So that's just an easy way to add value to physical items, and really to own your own content. So we have a subject like a musician or an artist or an entertainer, or like Ray alluded to, definitely 501c3s. Any subject, we kind of think of all the different ways we can use this technology to add value to what they're already doing. And it works in, there's two parts of it. So that's pretty revolutionary for the partner that we're working with. But then in the industry, there's so much innovation that hasn't been attempted yet because of the lack of use cases is the term in the industry. But there's just not a lot of innovation going on. So most of the time when we're trying to add value to an artist and their community, we find out that we're also going to be attempting something that really hasn't been done before in the NFT space. And that just adds into kind of the excitement of our overall project.
Well, thank you so much.
That sure is exciting. Wow.
Yes,
I'm hyped up.
Yes.
I'm hyped up. So thank you all very much for your time. I just love to kind of do a huddle and make sure that my team knows the partners that I have had my day ones, and that my proteges, DJ Dr. K. So DJ Dr. K, you did some research on NFT. So I want you to start off with some about your background, your top 3 accomplishments, what your goal is, and then what your understanding is based on the research that I had you do in preparation for this meeting, so we can make sure that we're all speaking the same language.
Absolutely. So I'm a graduate of Cardinal Stretch University with a doctorate of leadership for the advancement of learning and service. And so I've had 20 plus years of leadership experience. I'm a speaker and business leader. I'm also a recording artist under working with John Leslie, DJ Dr. K. So I'm excited about that process. And I'm excited. My goal is definitely to be able to sing and to be a great artist full time. And so I'm looking to develop that part of my career. I'm also excited to learn more about NFTs and to be a part of the process to understand more about it. I do know, based upon my research, that a lot of the power behind the NFT is really the person who is promoting the NFT. I'm looking to learn more about sustainability of it, but seems like it is a growing field. There's a lot of passion and power behind it. It's growing, especially in terms of the amounts of money that's been made. I believe it was like $1 million up to over $86 million that has been a part of this process with the NFT. And so limited in knowledge, but definitely open to learning more about it.
All righty. Thank you very much. And what's up, Redred? What's up? All right. So thank you very much. Just to set out an agenda now that we all know the players. I'm DJ Les Brown Jr., aka DJ LBJ, aka DJ High Hopes, aka Hip Hop Intellectual Going Higher, helping other people everywhere. Soar, aka Les Brown's baby boy, aka the Pope of the Temple of Hip Hop, aka Les Brown's baby boy and Red Love's Pride and Joy. And I'm so happy to be here. This is a really perfect timing. I called my brother and I want to go over what my goal is before the end of this year, and specifically what the milestones that we have this year. And I think that we're really streamlined to do some innovating things in that space, like we were talking about, in terms of not just looking at how everyone else is using the NFT model to profit off of art to enrich themselves, but to give back, like Ray Love said, to provide a new way for artist development, right, in a sustainable way, and to allow the fans and the listeners themselves to have more control and equity in the masterpieces, which is freaking awesome, right? So the first thing that I would like to be able to do, and I'm not sure what your schedule is, if we had maybe, okay, what, 40 minutes from now, or, you know, I'll try to keep it to 40, but if give me a 5 or 10 minute grace period, I would appreciate it. The first thing that I would like to do is say, number one, I have a use case study. So I'm familiar with that terminology. I learned how to do those years ago. And that's one thing that I would like for you to pull up, DJ Dr. K. The World Impact Now use case study. I would like for you to pull it up right now.
Okay.
Yeah, right now. Okay. Thank you. That's the first thing. Number two, I have a business plan. And I'm going to kind of speak primarily to I'm gonna go on the business plan in reverse. I'm gonna start with the back end and the value proposition first, and then work my way up to the mission statement and the table, right? So we'll go table of contents, value proposition, and then market research and mission statement and all that other stuff. Okay. And then the other thing I like to do is just kind of walk you on the inside of my numbers of what I was able to do this year without a team and a staff, just using the expertise that I've had to learn from hustling, right, and running a multi-million-dollar business using technology. Right now, I am at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I've got 4 different computers, 6 different operating systems. So it's just like, I had a bunch of people working for me, but I knew how to do their jobs faster. And what I'm mainly looking for right now is competent people that know how to do what they're doing, so that when it comes to the NFT side of it, Ray Love is my point.
Turnkey.
Yeah, I don't, right? I'm going to open up my database. I'm going to open up my books and numbers. I'm going to show you exactly what the business model is. And here's the thing. Number one, fashion tech currency. That's the first thing. Fashion tech currency, where everything that you see me wearing is an NFT, meaning this is my fashion line. And on these different things that I'm wearing right now currently, I'm not sure that that's it. So let's make sure that we have it's called a use case study.
Sorry about that.
So let's not just spring until you have the right document.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So, and yeah, you can text me probably, or I'll find it in a little bit. So
right, sorry about that.
It's okay, because one of the things that we have right now, and we have a big future shock, where there were chalkboards in school when my dad was in school, when Dr. Katina was in school, there weren't computers, right? So, right, like for the first 10 years, it was just a way to see boobs. You couldn't see porno videos. You had to just see like a picture of some white girl's titties, and that was probably augmented. Like that was the internet to me. And my dad was like, learn this, learn what they're doing, study all this stuff, and now I get it. And you're on the cutting edge. So I think my first question for you, Mr. Barnes, would be, what would be your biggest accomplishment this year in the NFT space, outside of partnering with the most credible person in hip hop, who has more respect than anybody in the world, just because he's not only paid his dues, like he paved the way for.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I'm not talking about the other members of his team. I'm talking about just Ray Love specifically.
Thank you.
Right? Just Ray Love.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
I'm not sure where are you based out of, man?
Me, I'm in Northern California.
Oh yeah, well,
yeah.
I mean, it's layers to the game, and I tell you, he's the Marcus Garvey of the Bay. He's the Marcus Garvey of California, right? And so his influence and his words mean so much to me that I know that's huge, because the fact that he's talking to me about this, that's the only reason why I'm in.
Right. No, that's definitely the apex of Say Blau this year. So that's, you got it right on the head. The Ray working with Say Blau and myself opens up right, it opens up these meetings, it opens up a whole nother world that
Borrowed credibility.
that
Not,
and
wait,
his
let me
vision.
just interject something real quick. Not just that. This gentleman is brilliant, John Leslie. He showed me 100 ways to monetize a product, at least 100.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm just making my point right now. There's a difference
for
between
sure.
brilliance and credibility. And the thing is,
Yes,
the
sir.
NFT thing might be brilliant, but if people don't understand it, you have to have
Yes,
somebody that you can trust that has credibility to you,
you're
else you're not
absolutely
going
right.
to take the risk. The
Yes,
biggest
sir.
barrier for government regulation to decrease, for community engagement and awareness, right? We've got a huge awareness gap because we're dealing with something that's less than 10 years old, but that has been, in development, and it's a spin-off, it's a pivot of a pivot of a pivot, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, I don't have any apprehension because Ray Love gets it. So I don't have to understand everything about it. I know my business and my family business, and I know personal development, like, blockchain, right?
100%.
Like, all my guys are coders and studying blockchain. They're all Korean. They're all Chinese. Like, they know they do that, but they don't have business acumen to build a company. They're trying to go to school to get a job, right?
Right.
Much. Like, they're trying to get good grades, right?
Right.
So the point that I'm making here is that in terms of what's exciting for me about it is, as I get it, just doing some research is, and I love your brilliance, is that my particular bandwidth, and I'm just so happy that Ray Love will even take my call and have this meeting, and you too, is just so full. I don't have time to do anything on this besides give somebody access that I can trust and allow it to grow, right? Like, right? So
I get it. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I could dig that.
So, and one of the aspects I'm looking at, and I know Ray Love is aware of this, is just put in the political space, right? So we've got hip hop, politics, and of course, entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to NFT those things and use me as a case study, right, is what I'd like to start happening as soon as possible. So,
okay.
And then I'll just stop there and allow you to kind of finish, Mr. Barnes, in terms of what you say is your biggest milestone this year. Because for me, I'll just say, for me, my biggest milestone this year was to do an online program for pretty much a whole year. I actually have a class tonight, and build an online community where people are paying me 10 times what they pay for Netflix, Spotify, Tidal.
Right.
And they don't even receive anything physical or tangible.
Right.
I work 3 hours a week on Thursday from 7 to 10. And Thursday is my only work day, right? So I have a private Facebook community where they post their speeches. I have a record label called Hungry to Speak, where we treat thought leaders like hip hop artists, and we treat hip hop artists like thought leaders.
Interesting.
All of their albums, all of their speeches and interviews become new products when you have great production and a common narrative.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing is, who has the credibility to get the rights to somebody else's intellectual property if they're not friends with them, right?
Right.
Or if they don't already own the footage, right? Ray Love owns some things that he'll never sell that's more priceless than anything in the world, right? And so that's not fair, right? It's just not for sale. It's so many of those things.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm jealous of it, and I love him, right? But it's just not even for sale. And those things are friends like Della Reese is my godmother, Les Brown, Gladys Knight, all of these things, right? That we have, the Motown dynasty, all of those things that we can do, but it's for the empowerment of people. So my thing and my concept, and I'll transition quickly, I would like to play a 10 minutes of the movie, if that's okay. A film
Absolutely.
that I just
fine.
filmed
Yeah.
this year. This is one of my 3 milestones. This has a QR code. The first thing that we need to take them to is their wallet.
Cash and tech currency.
Right?
Yeah.
So this takes them to their wallet, just like Robinhood. Right? That's just one
Brilliant.
link into whatever system. And so what it is we get to choose what currency, and we get to list all of our currencies. So it might be 997 Ameros, and that might be 197 US, right? But the longer you pay, you get a percentage into your NFT of this. And there's a limited number of these. Now, here's the beautiful thing. We got to work local and think global. Because if Facebook did not start just at Harvard University, it would not have been scalable. It blew up there to get the press and learned out the kinks for the next pivot, right? And trust me, they got the next 10 pivots for it already lined up.
Okay.
Right? Just like I got 10 pivots of this lined up. So what happens is, and bear with me for a moment. What happens is, this right here is how it starts. It starts with this. You go to Crenshaw and Slauson, you're going on tour with your favorite hip hop artists outside of Ray Love and Pac, right? Like KRS-One is KRS-One, right? So that I'm on tour, but I wear a suit every day. So his daughter is the youth. So she says, you should get some red glasses when you're not wearing the red tie. So I go to where? The Slauson swap meet, because I'm a hood nigga who lives in the hood, right? I'm going to the suburbs to hang out with KRS-One, where he's giving me footage of him and 50 Cent and Ziggy Marley and all this other stuff to have me as the Pope of the Temple of Hip Hop have an archive, right? So I could show you websites and products that I have with KRS-One and songs and unreleased materials that I was stewarded with the first time that I went there that I have not put out. Thank you, God. I didn't know NFTs were coming. Right. Only thing is, he don't want a website. He don't want a database. He ain't interested in none of that. He don't want Wi-Fi. You feel me? Right. Like Aretha Franklin, he dealing cash and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm way too ahead of the game, right? But it's my job to make sure that time, his daughter, that the kids of KRS-One eat for hip hop, right? That Big Pun's son is not out there on the street anymore. It ain't Vito's responsibility. It's my responsibility, right? So just to say the pivot product, it started with this, and then I went to Harvard University and I became a part of the Harvard Innovation Lab, and it turned to this. And this has mapping and coding that I'm going to show you shortly. And this allows us to measure their engagement, and it allows us to, maybe they only get their check-in or their wallet every once a week at a certain time. Well, that's going to make them keep logging in, and they can cancel their subscription or they can keep adding to their wallet. And that is...
Are you currently selling these?
Yes, I have currently sold this, and I have proof of concept. And what I'm doing now is I've been successfully built a $297 subscription business. But in my business plan, my numbers are based off of selling this for $197.
Okay.
So I've proved that I can get $297, right? And $197. If we use, say, Brazilian currency, then that's like $1 zillion, right? But it's like, oh damn, it's $1,000, right? Because we got to think global. Right. My goal was to do an international infomercial online, and to put a minimum of a budget of, say, between $25,000 and $30,000 behind the infomercial based off of footage that I've already filmed.
Okay.
Right. Okay. The infomercial industry is like the music video industry for artists, meaning that it's the big leagues, but they're very expensive 30 years ago. Now I can show you my numbers on what I get on a $10,000 ad spend. I could reach, right? Several million people. Right? My thing is, I've been self-funding all of this. I don't have any debt. I've never filed bankruptcy. And I've been self-funding my campaign and everything, and donating and really doing the test marketing, right? Because if people can't scan it quickly from their phone, or if in 5 years it's extinct, I put it down, and then guess what? Everyone has to use a QR code to buy food now. They don't have physical menus. Well, I was ahead of the market. Right?
Tell me where the QR code goes again.
It's right here.
But where does it take you when you scan?
Well, I can send you one, right?
Okay.
But it can take you, let me dive into where it takes you, okay? So number one, I want to say, especially with the Ray Love Connection, I don't believe in non-disclosure agreements. I believe in disclosure agreements, pro-disclosure. So please feel free to implement any of my business ideas or tell one about it, because if you can find all I say is, if you can find a way to improve it, share that shit with me too. Right?
That's how I feel.
Right?
That's how I feel about
that,
NFTs
brother.
too.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I actually have pro-disclosure agreements because I have different ethics. All right.
Right.
When you have an invention, and this is an invention, I've already found out that Japanese own the patent to the QR code. In order to have the patent is processed, because the company that I'm a reseller from, they sell over 17,000 glasses per month that do not have prescription. They're known as Play-Doh glasses in the eyewear industry. And out of it, for the last 7 years, I've been the only distributor to add a QR code.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So this is one version of it, but I also leave this blank so I could sell sponsorship to it. So I'm not sure if you have a logo or what the name, what's the name of your company, and do you have a logo?
Say Blau. Yeah, we have a logo.
Oh, I mean, of course you. I mean, I don't mean to be insulting. I mean, I just haven't
No,
seen
yeah.
I don't even care. I mean, if Ray Love told me right now that, like, to jump off of this roof into that swimming pool, like, I wouldn't do it right away, but I'd be like, you really need it, my nigga. You know what I mean? Like, I might be like Dr. K, go down there and catch me if I fall. I mean, that's how I feel.
It'd be an option.
Right?
Right.
So,
Mr. Brown.
right.
Consideration.
Right. So the fact of the matter is, so say you're liquid right now, right? In NFT, and you're liquid in operating capital, right? And you're able to say sponsor an event, right? And you can come on as a sponsor after you see the proposal. And that's part of the way that we could do this, right? I haven't talked to Ray Love on this. What it would do is we would have your logo and your QR code on the other side of it, or we would have your logo and your QR code on every liter lens is sold, right? And that would be how they monitor the value of the liter lenses. Now, if this goes out of business and it decreases because people aren't engaging in the content and the idea isn't last the test of time, then that's something, but they're still getting personal development, videos, content. We have our own Pandora and title. This is called tangible intangibles. So the beautiful thing about this, it's not like it's a stagnant. One day it's a video, the next day it's an album, the next day it's a PDF book, you see? And we can choose what times, and we have cell phone numbers and text message. So we have a triple opt-in to communicate, go to your leader lenses, right? So then you have the hustle lenses, right? Then you have the Shock G lenses, right? And then you have this brand, because they're not glasses, they're lenses. The content on them changes how you see the world, because everything that impacts your life and your brain, it comes through your eyes and your ears. So you look through life with a new lens when you have these, and we can do, I already have a partnership with the marathon. I went to high school with Ermias, and the marathon.
That's Nipsey's brother, right?
You know, Ermias is Nipsey.
Yeah. Oh,
that's why I'm high hopes. He's Ermias, right? So he was going to be my DJ. I was going to be his DJ. Like, you know, I was the only person that, like, when he dropped out, he stayed at my spot because I was the only person in high school. So the marathon came from a Les Brown speech when he talked about his biggest fear was the movie called Marathon Man. You see, that was Nipsey's favorite speech. Okay. So that's where that came from, right?
Wow.
And so he started selling $100 albums because I had $100 album with my dad's speeches and my motivational tapes. So that's how he did that, and it worked out, right?
Yeah.
So, but we were like, you know, just like E40 and Ray Love, they cool and they family, and they do projects together, but they also competitors. They put like they got their own fort. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they could do a tour and everything. Like we love E40. You know, I love. You know what I'm saying? And his sister, what's my girl's name? I haven't talked to her. Who I'm talking about, Ray?
Who?
E40 sister.
Oh, you talking about Sugar T?
Sugar T, forgive me, not E40 Sugar. Sister T, she's not E40, she's Sugar T, right? She was, I was a big fan of Sugar T first. Slurricane. But you remember the juke, remember the box, remember the basement?
Yeah.
Now we get to do that. So what I'm doing is I'm your Bob Johnson, you're Steve Wozniak, right? And guess who Ray Love is? Ray motherfucking Love. Ain't that cool?
That's cool shit.
Right? And DJ Dr. K is our intercessory. She's good. She's saved. She's married. She works in the church. She's taking copious notes for us. And she'll be the person that does all the follow-up stuff and has all the standard operating procedures. Because what I'm looking for mainly is, I'm going to go straight into it now. And I'm going to just kind of move faster. I think we kind of have a gist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then now, mind you, I just this year alone raised over $100,000 in sponsorship for these leader lenses, and I have what my other sponsors' glasses look like. Okay, so that's it. I have inventory right now. I would love to do something that was LA County only, and then we went county to county. Like maybe we do the Bay in LA. And you have to live in those counties in order to actually have the currency, because I want to be able, that's something in terms of my work local, think global strategy, and implementing it politically per district and creating exclusivity where people are mad because they're in Beverly Hills or they're in the Valley, they're in Santa Monica, you know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever that means. That's just an idea that I wanted to put forward. So I'm going to go right now and start sharing my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So I will, maybe if we have a follow-up meeting, or what I'll do is I'll send you a QR code, and by tomorrow I'll have a private preview ready for you of the actual beginning of the film for you to view. Okay. So we don't have to waste any time of that. I decided to put most of the details on my main website to be able to go through this, right? So this is an example. The beautiful thing is I don't outsource anything. So I build everything and I can change everything myself in real time. I'll be able to show you the outside and the inside of all the various platforms, but it's too many to show you unless you guys give me like an extra 15 minutes, right? But I'll try to keep it centralized, and I'll kind of pause to say if I'm on the right track, if I'm going, do you have any questions thus far? And or do you think we're on the same page?
Yeah. So what we're going to do, John Leslie, is we're going to absorb everything that you say to us. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk. Matt probably does his best work offline, but we really want to understand the totality of what it is that you're proposing. And I think I got a gist of it, but but to see it, seeing is believing. One that after we see it, me and Matt will talk, and then tomorrow when we come back to watch the clip, I'm sure we'll have a significant amount of feedback. Right now, I just want you to do your thing and make sure that we get as much of it before we have to go.
All right,
absolutely. Cool. I'm absorbing.
All right, cool. So I love active listening. So if you could just give me like a yoo-hoo or yay when I say some dope shit, it really helps my confidence. I'm a dark-skinned brother in America, so I just would like
hey, man. Hey, you is the truth roof, boy. I swear to God.
So if you look at these rows of threes, these are all different brands that I built the website for, and that'll be content that we can market. So when we look at what's inside each leader lenses, we give people a tool to have a physical, tangible product to promote themselves. It's like them having a CD again, because this is something that people get to wear. So Betty Diggs is the mother of Jay Diggs, right? Mm-hmm. in the original group with Mac Dre. So that's one of the speaker coaches who paid me, who I trained, and she paid me $25,000 to be her speaker coach. I made her album, I built her website, I built the whole thing, and she has her doctorate degree, right? So that's that. Also, I built, of course, Set Shakur's website as well, right? Sets in here. And there's a couple of more brands. I'm going to just go super fast because you get it. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So this is over 20 different contents that each day I could just switch it and it goes straight there, right? I have a website and a book for Layla and with Layla. And I do the legwork. So this is Taja B. Simpson, my fiance. She's the star of The Oval on BET right now, youth programs, international. So this is this particular portal, right? Are you with me? And this is kind of the back end system. And of course, this is just amateur hour using Wix, but hey, I can make it nice. I could change it, whatever, and I get to measure. The beautiful thing is I don't have to put my music out through those other various channels. I don't have to put it out through Pandora because I get my own metrics just from my site alone. And I get to advertise that it's not on those other channels and that we have our own streaming network that includes all of the things that the other networks charge. We can charge whatever for it. I'd love to I have some ideas about that I'll come back to. This is the back end of the QR code technology that I use. Ideally, with the computer programmers that I live with now, it's a $30,000 investment to take all of these systems that I use and centralize the proprietary technology of it. And we could get that done before May 22nd, which is the ideal launch date, which is the date that I would like to do the event, which is what I'm actively looking for sponsorship, where everyone would leave with those, their ticket price would include this, and it would have some value beyond just the information that they get at the event. And they would start to subscribe for a minimum of $197 a month. So that is that. Now, I will give me 1 second and I will log into there, but this is a different system. This is kind of like the front office, and I'll stop sharing for a second just to see. So the technology that we use, one is Wix, of course, which is build it yourself. That's how I started. Then Kajabi, that's a real CRM system. And then we use Text Magic because we have a text message database. The problem with emails, the open rate is less than 15%, even with great headlines, right? You got a 90% open rate with text messages. So I have a database of over thousands of text messages, phone numbers, and emails. Just know that. Okay. We good so far? Yay. Ooh. Am I? Yeah. So let's go at let me go back to sharing my screen real quick. I'm going to walk you on the inside and then the outside. Okay. So right now, the best thing about it is I'm the only one who did everything. So I'm the only one who knows what I did. And that's more valuable, that IP, right? I wanted a turnkey model. So to be able to give people tools to build wealth, and you're giving me an infinite banking system so that they have generational wealth, which is what I teach. I don't teach about how to be successful or happy. I teach about generational wealth. And these NFTs are something that your children's children can pass down, just like a Picasso. But it won't be destroyed if there's a flood.
Exactly like that. Yeah.
There's no better spokesperson in the world for this besides Ray Love, only because he's fucking cooler than me. He's my fucking, he's not my friend. He's my hero, right? I mean, I was listening to Ray Love when I was living in Atlanta, sleeping on the fucking floor, catching the train to go meet KRS-One because my girlfriend was at Spelman, and I didn't even want to go because I didn't want to catch the train. I was a rich nigga that was broke.
I know what that is. I could dig it.
I was listening to that old shit because they dropped some of that shit late. They dropped it after the Are You Still Down project. Then they dropped the original. Then they did the collab with Biggie. And then they dropped it. And then I'm like, oh shit. Like, damn, it was really, I like that earlier stuff better because it was more, anyway. So that's my thing. And then I got a chance to, like you say, know you, and then I call for help. So this is just perfect. And so let me move forward. I'm going to do my best to wrap this up in 10 minutes. This is taking a bit longer than I anticipated, but let me just go into my numbers real quick of what I've done this year. What happened to my browser? Okay, so this is the back end of Kajabi. This month was my worst month all year long because I just want to get the foundation in place, and I can't keep doing anything. My main thing is I need a staff and a team, right? I'd like that, and that's what the main budget is for. So $13,459 in sales is pitiful, but it's okay because lots of other things have been done. 26 comments, 82 members. So I got 82 new opt-ins, 93 opt-ins. All of those need automation. So once they opt in, we don't have to touch it anymore. And that requires a email sequence that I could write, but it's just a lot of damn work when you're a dad and you're moving, and you know your neighbors are mad because you got NWA up on the wall and they're destroying your stuff on Thanksgiving, so you got to go check into a hotel. That's the shit I'm dealing with, guys. And they charge you $30,000, so by the time you get back, it's just like, what the fuck? Now I got to raise some fucking money, dude. Shit. Can
I ask you about those members real quick? Can I jump in? So the 82 members, are those subscribers? What's
so
a member?
Difference between, so let me show you the outside. Obviously, this started in February and I generated $406,000 without a staff. Okay. The thing that I know is that it's easier to keep a customer and a lot more expensive than to go out and recruit more. And I have all the.
They new? Are those 82 new, or is that 82 total?
So let's look at it. We go to opt-ins, and I can tell you specifically, okay, and what day they came in. So between this date, there were 93. That means opt-ins, meaning they filled out this particular form where they get, that's called the ethical bribe. That's just the main opt-in form where they give their email address, phone number, and name, and they get the free shit, right? These aren't all sales, okay? I have different funnels for different tags. So GoPro is one of our affiliates. One of my teams would just be able to allow affiliates. These are people with millions of people who buy already. They would start to launch to promote their people to be in our event, right? Where it would be 990. The ideal price for this is 997, right? 997 Ameros, 997 pounds, whatever the hell that may be. But because the content is worth, the average online course, the average online product in our industry sells for $997. Just to let you know, I changed the game and I did it for $297. So this tells me all of that. And then not all customers. In sales wise, I can tell you that 1 second, analytics, opt-ins. This was just opt-ins. So let me go back to sales wise, net revenue, subscription matrix. Okay, so whatever this is, the point is I got my numbers, okay? I'm not happy about this. I'm embarrassed, right? I got 3 the other day. I got 1 the other day. I got 1. I have spent 0 advertising dollars on this, just to let you know. And I just wanted the proof of concept. I'm deliberately slowing down, right? Because I want the systems in place. And what I found was my dad was promising too much. I have the biggest library content with my dad. So let me show you the other side of this really quickly. I'm going to go to the front end and show you. So I changed this. So I hid this from you. This is where they would log in. So on my side of the glasses, this is where they would log in to get their content. Copy that?
Copy.
Yeah.
Yep.
You with me?
Let's go.
Once they log in, this is what they see, right? Okay. Now, mind you, this is 2 of our 12 different online assets, right? Our business, our family business has traditionally done $2 million a year. When I came in and took it over in the pandemic, we did 5. This is just what we did off of this particular thing. That doesn't include our 100,000 in sponsorship or any other high-end content, right? And it's not even been a full 12 months yet. So the real estate of you, this lady is the business coach for Celine Dion, and this is the top real estate investor. So I flew them in. I filmed a course called The Real Estate of You, where we, we did a course together. And this diversity in this content is cool, and you can't find it anywhere else. And these type of credibility people, now we can do NFTs with Celine Dion. She was there when they went to Cirque du Soleil, and she went backstage and hired Celine Dion, the people from Cirque du Soleil, to build her stage before she ever had the show. So this was her business coach. And she's on camera talking about the power of my glass, right? Welcome to the Real Estate of You. I'm Les Brown Jr. and I'm joined by Lena Patel and Miss Jen Duplessis. Hi, I'm Les Brown Jr.
I'm Lena Patel and I'm Jen Duplessis.
And welcome to the Real Estate of You.
Did you do that again?
All right, keep that rolling. Let's try. Okay. Anyway, you get the gist, right? It's just authentic and it's different than the cornball talking head shit. So this is an event, mind you, I had to go to the hotel, I had to get sponsorship, and everyone at the sponsorship event, as you see, they're wearing my glasses. And this is the archive of the entertainment content
for our
that
life,
offer,
for our business.
So this is just one particular course that I wanted to show you as an example of the type of content that we can NFT and not the type of content that will be distributed through the leader lenses that will increase with the value the more leader lenses are sold. Copy that?
Got it.
Yes.
I like it.
Right. And so the thing is, I filmed it. I own all the footage because I produced it and I edited it myself. That's why I need to expand and have a team so I can move faster. Could you imagine how long it's taking me to do all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't have a budget. Ray loves know that I was sleeping on his couch, right? Because I couldn't afford to stay in a hotel when I was in the Bay. I walk out and I see the shit that I had to study in school on the wall of fucking $50 million. Oh, sorry. Hungry to Speak with Les Brown and John Leslie Brown is the current product. Our speakers ourselves said that they see me as their Puff Daddy. I'm from the West Coast, so I'll say, they see me as their whoever it is, but they're Suge, right? That's not a good example, right? But yeah, they want to. They said that they see me as the head of the label. So now we're transitioning, and we have a studio, our own studio that we work out of to come and record their content. They just don't have access to LA. They don't have access to the Bay. They don't have access to producers, right? We're going to own the Audible space. Kevin Hart's got big investments in there. We're going to own the Audible space. We have a proprietary, we know how to turn books into videos, to movies, page by page. And I can show you examples of that. I only have 2 minutes, but this is an example of the inside of Hungry to Speak. And you've got class replays. Right now, you might have 10 available, but I actually have, I have 365 of these available that I just need an intern to load up once a week. And that's what I call a turnkey business that keeps revenue coming in, right, guys?
Yeah.
So this is kind of the front end. I just want to really quickly, I will kind of move faster. Here's a program. This is the Real Estate of You. And I have my own programs in here with over songs. Choosing Your Future is the free course that they get. We're missing a couple of my products for some reason, have several more that aren't listed. And then I will quickly go over the business plan. Okay, Daryl Miller is the top law attorney for Fox Rothschild law firm. He actually started off as a, you know Daryl Miller?
I know, I know Daryl.
Okay, so I'm his speaker coach, and he's my mentor in law. Oh, this isn't Daryl Miller. This is GPS or Success, a different client. So we have his, and the way that I broke his down is just specifically unique because his goal is this is his book that we can then NFT to help actors and artists really understand the education. This is what they need to go through to understand the power of NFTs. And we broke down fame. For the success you seek, be prepared, alter your thinking, morph your rags into riches and embrace change. This might be Wednesday at 2:00 and we could send them TV guide, right? Check out this week's program. right? And so when you look at it, we have a known, you know Tasha Smith, right? And I was able to take this, to record this, and to create this course, and to put him in my studio. And we have lots of more content like that coming. This was just a proof of concept. Obviously, he's the attorney for Bishop T.D. Jakes, for Ludacris, for Angela Bassett, who did the foreword to his book, right? So that's the example of the Kajabi content and the Wix content, which is two separate things because they have different functions. And then the other thing that I would like to show you, if I could, let me just make sure I'm in the right browser, is the behind the scenes QR code. Actually, should I stop now or should I stop now? No, I'm
We
kind of.
probably we got 5 minutes. Let's do 5 more minutes if you have some stuff. Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you very much. Let me see if I can log in really quickly to my DJ Dr. K. Is she there? Oh, there's my login.
Can you see me?
I can hear you now.
Alrighty.
I might have needed you to go. I have SOPs for all these technologies so that someone can read step by step what to do. And I have $7 million key man insurance just in case anything happens, and a trust that owns my dad's business, my family business, that is in my son's name to protect this IP if anything happens to me. So any investor in our company is protected and insured up to $7 million, just so you know that. Minimum right now. We can increase that as things develop, but that was a major investment. What's up with this? Okay. I'm just want to, all right, so here are the numbers of just recently, right? So this is proof that people have scanned it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Each
Absolutely.
different brand has this code, and each different brand, we build the software that connects all these software, so we own it just in case one of these companies go out of business, right? We're not affected. It'll take my programmers, they'll have it done by Q2, and we customize it and fill in the features, or we just partner with them. But that would be ideal. But here's the type of metrics that we have. We've got the, out of which 608 people, but 487 are unique. So if I did it myself, you would probably know he's cheating, right? Just like people can manipulate their streaming numbers. You can't manipulate this. Well, right now it says 100% is in the United States. Well, that's hella good because you don't want to be marketing to people in China on Facebook, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Sense?
Yeah.
So that's
Right.
that particular brand. But if I come over here, I mean, I'm actually shocked by that. Maybe that's just because it's a new one, right? I just got these. So if I go to, what happened to it? Basically, there's different numbers on that. So right here, I'll leave this up for 24 hours for you able to be able to download the deck. But if you come here, reframing the paradigm in 3 industries. I do have a team and support. They're just my family, my brothers and sisters. We get on each other's nerves. My sister Serena, she's got her master's degree. That's my CFO. My brother Calvin, he's like our security. My brother Patrick, he's like the road manager. My sister Ona, she's my vice president. But Hip Hop for Governor exploratory campaign is what I'm launching starting today with my album, Turning Lyrics into Legislation and Poetry into Policy. This is the first album, which is called the Dope Ass Christmas Album. It's going to come out 12/12/21, which those numbers are significant for me. This will take you to the Breakfast Club interview with over 700,000 views. We could NFT the Breakfast Club interviews. They can get a whole nother income. We have great relationships with Angela Yee and Charlemagne and the producers of the show. Honor Brown Inc. is the actual entity that we are corporate compliant, and Les Brown Immortal is the name of the entity that owns all of this. The Hope Village project is a Hope Village at Leimert Park. This is the game plan of how we can create a hip hop heritage center, and tourism is the #1 economic driver. 200, all of this stuff, I'll just leave up for you for 24 hours before I change it back. You can hear some of the music, but if you just click right here, this button will take you to a deck. Unless it's embarrassing me, which it isn't. Thank you very much. because I'm on my final minute. This deck has executive summary, mission statement, ownership, evolution, competition, implementation, plan, all of that. And going to the end in my closing, I have the team members, their bios. Those are the people that I need to pay. And the value proposition is here. At the end of 5 years, a $5 million investment potentially could be worth $79 million at the end of 5 to 10 years, because our bet is that 1 in 33 millennial leaders will buy the leader lenses. If you believe our bet, it translates into 2.4 million leadership lenses sold in 5 years. So the question is, do you want to sell 2.4 million in 5 years, or do you want to sell them this Christmas? Because here's the numbers, here's the value breakdown, and my time is done. But you can see all of that, and then we can schedule another time to follow up if you have any questions. Thank you very much for your time.
That's excellent. Thank you, John Leslie. Can you send me a link for where we can see the deck, and however you want to do it?
Yes, I will text it to you, and you could just go to johnlesliebrown.com and click the business plan at the bottom. You can just kind of read everything. You can let the album play, watch the videos. I specifically wanted to demonstrate to you that I'm a one-stop shop, and that's my biggest weakness. But I can change my site just for you. And I don't care who sees it, because I want people to talk about it. I think my customers should know our track record. Within there, you have a 100-year plan, and you have our company's history starting from 1984 when I was born. And my son is a speaker who's going to be speaking after I'm gone. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Excellent presentation. Thank you. Very informative. I will give you a call back, John Leslie, a little later today. I'm going to talk with Matt, and we're going to figure it out. I'm inspired. Hey, you never cease to amaze, brother.
Thank you.
Let's go.
All right.
Yeah. I'll talk to you later, brother. Appreciate you. God bless.
Okay. Thank you.